Hello, and welcome to another DealershipNews.com podcast. Kelly Kleinman here, as I am each week, with another Who's Happening in the automotive industry. And we generally cover automotive executives, dealers, and vendors, but today we're going to do a meet and greet with a gentleman who reps a line of products that, frankly, we all need. Today we have Gary LoCicero, the Crystal Fusion Technologies guy. Gary, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
An absolute pleasure. You're our first New Yorker in our.
I hope that's a good thing.
Well, we're going to enjoy the accent. We have somebody from Boston the other day. We have the Michigans. We're getting all the accents. I'm going to hit the Deep South here next week, as a matter of fact. Looking forward to it. But anyway, so Gary, first and foremost, tell us a little bit about your background and how did you get started with CFT?
Sure. My background originally as a kid was in automotive finance. I worked for a bank with automotive financing, credit and so forth. That's for about 7 or 8 years. Had an opportunity at a dealership to enter in there as a sales manager. And so I was on the retail side of the business. I worked for one of the largest Hyundai dealerships in the world. That's when Hyundai really took off. Mm-hmm. And I stayed with that group or that organization for about 15 years. They were one of the largest not publicly, but individually owned automotive groups anywhere. So they owned about 26 stores. And I was there for about 15 years. I left there as a general manager, where I was for about 5 years as a general manager. And I had an opportunity to come with Crystal Fusion. As the owner of the company was actually one of my finance managers back when I started in the business. So I looked for an opportunity, and this presented itself very well. I knew about the product, and I felt there was a lot to be offered. So I made the jump.
Congratulations and good luck. What would your elevator pitch sound like for CFT if you should ever use one? I mean, after all, always be selling, right? You are a car guy, after all.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I mean, CFT or Crystal Fusion is really a safety product. It helps drivers see at times when they struggle most. So that's in inclement weather, night, day, sun. So it's going to really reduce glare on that windshield significantly. It repels water, ice, snow, bugs, anything that comes in contact with the glass. And in addition to that, it helps strengthen the glass. So it's going to help resist chips, cracks, and breaks due to road debris shooting up on that windshield.
Yeah, I just had that experience last week. In fact, I was looking forward to this interview. I had a pebble fly into my window, and it cracked. It was just a little round crack. I ended up using some kind of silicone or whatever, some kind of a filler. And it looks pretty good. I did an okay job for a first time. But how does it, if you could explain how it actually strengthens the glass, because folks, a windshield replacement is expensive.
Sure. So really, when you look at glass microscopically, it's a very porous surface, and most people don't realize that. So it's filled with what we call these hills, valleys, and peaks. And what happens is first we prepare that windshield with a solvent to clean it properly, and then we apply our two-step application. The first step fills in those hills, valleys, and peaks of that glass and creates what's known as a covalent bond. So it chemically bonds. It's one of the strongest chemical bonds there are. Chemically bonds to that glass. So therefore, when road debris would shoot up on that glass, it's more apt not to hit one of those hills or valleys, which would cause what we would, a star, crack, or chip in that glass. It's more apt to deflect off the glass and not cause that damage. Now, of course, it's not going to make it bulletproof, but it is going to help resist chips, cracks, and breaks on the glass.
So how does it also relieve the glare? I understand now. I'm trying to remember the name of the product that I used to fix the problem, but I don't recall. Nonetheless, glare is also an issue. We're here in California. We get an amazing amount of traffic, a lot of glare off of windows. You're almost blinded at some points in the day driving on the freeway. It's highly risky. So explain to us, as best you can, how it reduces glare and what's at play in that particular process.
Sure. Very similar to the process of it strengthening the glass. It's that same analogy of where that glass is a very porous surface. So normally when light comes through a glass, whether it be day or nighttime, it actually refracts off of those hills and valleys and causes what's known as a halo effect. It's also called eye scatter, where you're momentary blindness. It might be a second or two, but that second or two, of course, means a lot when you're driving. Again, by us filling in those hills, valleys, and peaks on a microscopic level, light transmits optically clearer through the glass, therefore reducing that glare significantly.
Yeah, we've had quite a time here teaching my kids how to drive, and I took them out in the morning, and there was a little dirt. Now, this is where your product is fantastic. There's a little bit of dirt on the windshield, and to compound matters even worse, we tried some of that spray-on car wash wax that adhered to the window and smudged it even worse. So here you have a 15-and-a-half-year-old driving down Triunfo Boulevard directly into the sun, and he was blinded. So this would come in handy for a situation like that, because it actually talk to me about the surface now. The material coats the surface, and it allows debris to sludge, rain to bead off of it. It's sort of a repellent?
Yeah, so really what it is, and we really don't even like to refer to it as a coating, because what in fact it does, it's a chemical reaction to the glass. So unlike other products or do-it-yourself products or wax, this is not that. So this becomes part and parcel of the glass. And the attributes, like I said before, it does become ultra-hydrophobic, so meaning it's afraid of water. So anything that comes in contact with that glass will not adhere to the glass in any way and easily wash off the glass if need be. There's a lot of problems. I know in the South, especially in Florida, they have a problem with these huge love bugs, and they stick to everything, but not to Crystal Fusion. So it really is a great product for that reason.
Everybody has competition. Who's some of your competition, and what sets you apart?
Well, again, when we look at competition, there really isn't that much competition in total of what we do, and I'll explain why. As a product manufacturer, that's all we do is windshield. So we don't dabble in anything else. We consider ourselves the experts in windshield. We've been doing this for over 15 years. There are similar products that are hydrophobic out on the market in the automotive industry. However, most of them just follow what we're doing right now, but cannot produce a product similarly to ours. So it will repel water, but a lot of things will repel water. A potato cut in half and rubbing it on your windshield will repel water. Ours is more than just a water repellency. In addition to that, for the dealer, we have a whole retention program that's built in with the product. So it's not only a product, but it's also a complete program of retention that's included, where we drive the customer back to the service drive with no additional charge to the dealership. And this successful program has been released about 5 years ago, and is in currently, right now, all 50 states, 22 countries, and we've had remarkable results with it.
So is this a dealership value add, or is it an upsell, or can the consumer buy the product in the aftermarket? And then how does your program work as a retention strategy?
Sure. So our product is exclusively sold through automobile dealerships, which is another advantage for a dealership. A consumer cannot purchase this online or in a parts store or anywhere else but an authorized dealership. It has to be installed by a trained technician at the dealership. So again, it's not a do-it-yourself product for the customer. Our retention program is very, very simple. What happens is that we offer anywhere from a 1 through a 5-year warranty, manufacturer's warranty on the product, that it will perform as stated. So it will remain ultra-hydrophobic for that period of time. There is maintenance that's involved, which comes with the product, and that maintenance solution is provided to the dealer free of charge. And what we do is we contact the customer up to 4 times per year through a text and email campaign that is customized for the dealership. We contact that customer every 3 months and remind them that they're due for their free maintenance, or what we call refresher, on their windshield, and we have them contact the dealer to set an appointment to have that done. That drives the customer back to the dealership. And what I want to say is that a lot of dealerships right now use different types of methods for retention that really don't work. A lot of them are giving away oil changes or details and things of that nature. Here we have something that you're not paying for. It's being sold in the sales department or finance department. So it's really free to the service department. And when that customer gets a call from us or an email or text from us to let them know it's time for that free refresher, they now have become accustomed to driving with that on their windshield. So when they first purchased it, it was a want. Now it became a need. And they have that need to go back to the dealer to have it done again. And when they leave the dealer, they feel good about it because they see something on their windshield. Whereas if they had an oil change, they don't even feel any different that the oil was changed. They just see a sticker on the windshield. So our retention program works. Like I said, it's a 1 through a 5-year program. And then in addition to that, we also offer an upsell to a complete replacement program where we will replace the windshield in the vehicle for an unlimited amount of times over the course of that warranty as well if the product fails.
And that would be just standard road debris like pebbles, or for some reason it doesn't repel water, things
that is correct.
nature. Yeah, okay. So
Yes.
a couple of different questions then come to mind. One would be, as the dealership's main contact point, what kind of pushback do you get when you pitch the product to them? And then what are the costs that a customer would incur, and what does the dealer get charged for this?
Sure. So what we have right now is we have distribution points all over the world. So we don't deal directly with a dealership. However, we do a lot of training and so forth with the dealership, and calls and so forth. And we are partnered, like I said, with about 138 distributors here in the U.S. and others outside of the U.S. So typically in a state, we would have 2, 3, or 4 distributors. We would get together with them. They would go to a dealer, explain the entire process to them, possibly do a sample demo on a vehicle or two, explain the whole program to them. And really, at the end of the day, it is a very low-cost product. When I say low cost, the initial 1-year program or retention program might be as low as $25. And really the retail on that for a consumer is probably 3 or 4 times that amount. And of course that goes up along the term and the type of warranty. Once you get into a replacement warranty, it's slightly more. But when you start looking about the retention, and that's really what this is all about, our product is about retention, and it's what dealers are looking for. They want a good retention program that actually works. We have the statistics showing that over the 5 years, large groups, smaller dealerships, it works all over the world with retention. So it does drive the customers back better than any other retention program out there. And that's really it. So pricing really, to some degree, depends on the state that you're in when it comes to different types of replacement. But typically in that $25 to $30 range is about what you can look for the product to come into the store at.
Well, it has great value. The first thing you look at when you get into your vehicle is the windshield. And if it's dirty, right, it's the first thing that you think about. I wish I had a clean windshield. And then you get the windshield wipers and you realize, well, I'm out of fluid, and you start to panic. What does CFT have in the R&D department that might get us all excited in the coming year?
Yeah, so we really do have a lot of things going on. Currently, we are revamping our entire website. That should be done in the next 90 days, I'm assuming, 120 days. And really where we're going with that is in the digital area more than anything. So we're doing that. All our marketing material is being redone, really changing the whole look of it. Even our logos are being done a lot differently. And we're currently packaging it now easier for the dealership where they can maintain it at a much easier level.
Sounds great. Big question, where is Gary LoCicero going to be 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I will be with Crystal Fusion. We will hope to be in another 15 countries and thousands of more dealerships with Crystal Fusion. Our our goal is to stay with Windshield and only Windshield, improve our product programs and processes, and customer service. That's what it's all about.
Sounds great, folks. That's Gary LoCicero, Crystal Fusion Technologies. This is Kelly Kleinman, DealershipNews.com. This is the DealershipNews.com podcast. Signing off for now. Gary, thanks again, and good luck down the road.
Thank you very much.
You bet.